Well, hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Andy. We're back. If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Happy to see you. And for any returning subscribers, welcome back. For those who may not know me, I am an entertainment journalist for ScreenRant.com. I'm also the editor-in-chief of multiverseofcolor.com and also the host of The Showrunner Whisperer, which is an MOC original. And guess what? I'm back with another video. I'm just gonna say this for people who've been following my return to YouTube since when was my first video? October? Yes, I guess that was my first video back. I've been pretty good. Like staying like somewhat consistent. Not really consistent, but like at least consistent to knowing that I want to film more videos and do more stuff on my channel. So anyone who's been checking out my Superman Lois videos that I put out, or my Cobra Kai video that I did with James Gunn Reacts, thank you so much for checking them out. For any new subscribers, it always means so much. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss when I go live on a new video or when I go live streaming video games. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the greatest at video games, so if you want to see someone fail miserably, I'm your guy. So this is likely gonna be one of my last videos for 2024, but before we sign off, we're in December now. We're in the final stretch of this crazy year, which I feel like has been the motto for every year for the last couple of years now. But if you're watching this, you are probably someone who is excited for James Gunn's DC universe, which is beginning this Thursday, December 5th on Max, with the arrival of Creature Commandos, which I've been reading through some of the old school comics and to get ready for the show, and which will be the first entry in James Gunn's new DC universe that's coming from DC Studios, and it's going to be premiering the first 2 episodes this Thursday, and then it will be airing 1 episode weekly up until January 9th, I believe. So first of all, one thing I have always seen when it comes to Creature Commandos is that many people are shocked that this is the first thing we're getting out of the DC universe. But the thing is, I understand why. Again, last year Hollywood was affected by the major actor and writer strike, and animation was really the only thing that could still keep producing. And James Gunn had already written the scripts for season 1, so take that into consideration. But here's the thing. He's made a key point that this is really much of an appetizer to the DCU, which feels great to finally be able to say DCU, and now it's up and launching this week. The thing is, if you're coming in for Creature Commandos hoping to get, for example, like teases to what's going to happen in X, Y, or Z projects that have been announced already, this is not really the place for it. Again, there's definitely a few fun little nods and Easter eggs to the larger DCU, but it's this what I love about going into the Devil Creature Commandos. I love that this is really its own thing. We're focusing on these characters. Again, I will admit I have never heard of the Creature Commandos until last year when they announced that the show was even happening. I'm like, the creature who? And for me, I was kind of like, isn't this just Doom Patrol with a different name? And for a lack of a better term, it kind of is ish. But again, but the thing is, once you get when you get to explore these characters, you see that they're much more than that, but also that these are characters that easily, I think, fits so well into what James Gunn always likes to do. He takes some of these more obscure characters that we don't really know from the mainstream DC comics and gives them a new spin on them, a little more elevate a little more, which I think it's always been one of his best strengths. You could see it in his Guardians of the Galaxy movies and his other work, and I love that we're now getting this in. If you remember at the end of the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, Amanda's Task Force X is no more, and now they have to rely on before, and maybe they're not monsters as much as we think they are. And first of all, I want to also go a little bit into the animation. I'm a sucker for animated TV shows and movies, but I will say when it comes to some of the stuff I've seen in animation over the last couple of years, I feel there's been a little bit of a downgrade, so to speak. And again, when it comes to DC animation, like DC animation is where Warner Bros. Has always succeeded the most at. We go back to something like Batman animated series, or the Bruce Timm Justice League era, Superman animated series, and a lot of their great animated movies. But then some of the recent years, I feel like it's kind of been a little lackluster. But here, I feel now we're back. We're back in that fun time that if you were a kid like me growing up in the 90s, seeing Batman animated series for the first time, and seeing like this livid, exciting animation. This is what you're getting Creature Commandos as well. I don't know how many times I rewatched this season, but Bobby Pills, which is the company that the studio that produced the animation, they killed it, and I freaking love it. And I'm hoping that this is just the beginning of whenever we get other animated properties in the DCU, I'm hoping that this is the kind of quality and standard we're going to be dealing with, because it is just so much fun, and it's also just, it doesn't feel sloppy. It feels very involved. It feels like, again, it's again, I can understand now why it's taken so long for this show to come out, because they've been working their asses off in post-production to making sure that the animation looks perfect and all the things that goes into making an animated show, which I don't know anything about. So kudos to everyone who works behind the scenes so hard day in and day out. And when it comes to the characters, like, these are characters that I fell in love with so quickly. My favorite one that I will make clear from the get-go is G.I. Robot, voiced by the lovely Sean Gunn, who is no stranger to the world of DC, and he is just such a, I don't know, I feel like it's a character we need right now in a lot of ways. But also just like what he lives for is, it's, again, even though it's a very dark story that they're going through, he sometimes gets to bring in a little bit of the light. And also someone I have been elevating a lot towards is Rick Flag Sr., less than Frank Grillo. I grew up with him since Prison Break, and which was in the early 2000s. So, yes, I am old, ladies and gentlemen. That is true. And no, but like this, after seeing how Marvel completely wasted him, I'm so happy he's getting a fresh chance in the DCU to play a big character who is obviously going to have a lot of things to do, as we, if you've been following announcements, like he's going to be in Superman next year and Peacemaker season 2, and then who knows where else he will show up. And again, these are characters, again, like I again, this is something that James Gunn does really well, but something that I just like in general when I watch most TV shows or movies. I like these misfits. I like these characters that are very misunderstood, that there's more than meets the eye with them. And I think that's why this is a very interesting way to start off the DC universe, because again, I get it. Everyone is waiting for Superman. I absolutely understand that. And at some point that damn trailer will be released that I know everyone is waiting for. I'm waiting for. I want to see too what David Cornston is going to be like as Superman. But the fact that these are the type of characters that we're getting to follow throughout the DCU at the beginning, it's refreshing. And again, also it feels a little more relatable. I mean, again, I'm not gonna lie. There's days when I feel there is a lot of things that I have that I'm not proud of myself, the way I look or the way that I came from, so which you see with a lot of these characters. So it makes it very relatable, and I think there's a very fun story that there's towards the middle of the season it goes in a very interesting direction that I wasn't really expecting. So there's definitely, like I said, don't judge the book by its cover. And I would say this, even though there isn't really any big, like there's no Infinity Stones in this story for the DCU the way that Marvel has done it. But I will say this, if you are a DC fan, and if you are looking forward to James Gunn's DC universe, there may or may not be a few moments here and there that the best way I can describe it is that you're going to want to pause your screen to look a little more carefully. And that's all I will say about it. That's a little tease. I'm not going to say what episodes or episode it is. I'm not going to say which part of the season. I'm just going to say that there will be times where you will want to just hit the pause button for a second and be like, and then, whatever words come out of your mouth comes out. because I was definitely surprised, and it's in a very fun and good way. So, but overall, I will say this: from again having a very relatable group of characters, to also just a chance of getting to see corners of the DC canon that I haven't necessarily grown up with, is was what makes this show a really strong debut. And I think the season ends very, very nicely, with the potential of doing more stuff. So hopefully we will, I'm hoping it gets a season two, and also because I think we should have a little bit of a balance of animation and live action, and I definitely want to see where these other characters that we get to introduce to in this show, where we see them next in live action. Like someone like, for example, let me take David Harbour's Frankenstein. I'm dying to see how they're gonna like approach him in live action whenever the time is right. So there's lots to look forward to, and yeah, and again, like I said, I know that there's been a lot of people who've been kind of wondering, why are we doing this first and not Superman. Again, it's not it's not James Gunn's fault that there were strikes last year, and that the studios took as long as they did to actually come to agreements. But again, this is a nice, again, a nice little start to the DCU, but also a way to show you that we can get invested in other stories that aren't just the main core of superheroes that we still know. So I hope that you guys will tune in on Thursdays on Max, wherever you live. I know there's some countries that don't have Max yet, so hopefully you will have another way of checking it out. But yeah, overall, I would say if I had to give it a rating for this season, I would give it a strong 8.5. And I think if I had like any main critiques that I could give without giving any spoilers, is that I feel these episodes are a little too short. I thought one of the benefits of being in an animated series on a streaming platform is that you could do something like 25-30 minute episodes per episode. So that's kind of what I wish they would have done. Maybe they will do it for season 2, who knows. But it also just speaks that I really love these characters, and I want to spend more time with them. So hopefully we will see what the future holds for them. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Creature Commandos season 1. If you have any thoughts, theories, comments, leave them down below. Again, I'm not gonna answer any spoiler questions, but if there's things that you're wondering about, like what should I expect from this show that doesn't give anything away, I can try and answer them in the comments. So do your best. And yeah, that's it. So if you want to keep up with me, you can follow me at AnimeBite on all social media platforms. The links are in the description below. And you can also check out all my work at screenrun.com, including lots of Creature Commandos interviews that I've done, and as well as some interviews with other shows and movies that it's time of recording, I don't think they've come out yet. So you just have to wait and see on my social media feeds. And also, I'm the editor of Multiverse of Color, so go check out my amazing outlet with all my amazing writers who writes amazing reviews and do interviews and news coverage and so much more from the perspective of people, being a person of color or a member of the LGBT community or whatever you have. So go check them out. And of course, while the show is on hiatus, showrunnerwhisper.com will be back most likely in early 2025, because I've just been very, very busy. But if you want to check out all the first 10 episodes, and I take you inside the minds of various showrunners in Hollywood and what it means to be a showrunner in today's Hollywood landscape, and especially after the strikes. And yeah, again, sometimes I go live on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch to play video games, so catch me there. But yeah, I might have 1 or 2 more videos left for 2024. But anyone who's been checking me out since I came back more regularly, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Again, I'm not used to being on camera this often, and especially for my own YouTube channel. Like I do it for work, I do it for streams, but I don't really sit down and like plan things I'm gonna talk about and record. Podcasting is one thing, but doing videos is a different thing. So if anyone who's still here checking me out, anyone who's still subscribed, I appreciate you. If you're a new viewer and if you haven't subscribed and you like this video, the things that people say. Do the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all my latest content. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed Creature Commandos this Thursday. And you can of course check me out on DC Studios podcast, where I will be doing weekly reviews with my good co-host Lip and covering Creature Commandos season 1. It's gonna be a hoot. So check it out. All the links, like I said, in the description below. But until my next video, thank you for checking it out. I will see you in the next one.